Hello dear traders, petar.jacimovic here from vicanalysis.com. I got requests for to do analysis on the Euro USD and what to expect in the next period. So I wanted to create this video and explain you what are possibilities on the Euro USD and what we may expect. Of course, I must say that today we got the federal funds rate, and today is a very important day in US. So I will want to create some positions after the this big release today, later on in about 7 hours, in the federal funds rate. So, but before that, I want to explain you what's going on the USD. First of all, again, I must start with a massive upward movement here, and this was about 400-500 pips in in about few hours. We got 500 pips upward movement, and this is a very strong massive demand, which actually came after the Draghi said that they will that ECB will not expand the QE program, they will just extend the length of the QE program. So this is reaction of that. After that, we got some correction here. I took some positions here. We went some higher, and we actually stopped around 1.10, let's say 60 area. We went to the correction, went to the ABCD correction. This is a 61.8 Fibonacci retracement around 1.0715, where the price stopped here. After that, we created this channel here, and this looks like a bullish flag or like a corrective channel, since we got the very good parallels, diagonals here from upward swings to lower swings here. Price broke here and then back here. This was again also ECB press conference, when also the Draghi said that he's not concerned, ECB is not concerned, and the exchange rate is not main focus at all in their monetary policy. So with that in mind, it's a very basically he said that even he's not concerned about at this stage, too much about exchange rate. So that's a good thing. I mean for buyers, it's not so good thing for good thing for sellers. But technically, this buying, this massive demand, actually, if you go to, I will just put you on for my second monitor. This is the this is a futures market, CME market. Look at the massive selling climax there. This is a massive selling climax, and what's important here is the price respected this close price, and we got a very weak supply there. Later on we got some test bars, and that confirmed actually starting the accumulation by professional money. Okay, so I did some small mistake actually when I traded. I tried some selling there yesterday, and that was actually some forced trade. It's not quite good what I did. I tried some selling, but actually the right thing to do is to watch for potential buying opportunities. And after all, we must see what will happen in US in about 8 hours on the big news release, and after that we try to position, and I will try to position myself, and of course update you about new what we got in the market and what we may expect. But generally, this situation right now telling us that this selling climax was caused by Draghi's speech, few days ago, and the Draghi speech, they forced this selling here, and then professional buyers came. They probably took position off here on this massive, also some kind of buying climax, but not that big as like this one, the major selling climax here. And from that buying climax, they probably close some position, professionals close position. They waited test of this, and they start to again buy this pair potentially around this stage here, after successful tests of supply, and now we are probably going higher. What will be interesting to watch is this 1.0935 area, which is actually where the supply started, and if we go all above that, and we actually go above that and maybe even retest that after the, if we see the breakout, that will mark strong absorption, and it will be very likely that USD continue upward. There is also one thing here which I want to, so this is I show you how it looks like on the futures market. So it's a big selling climax. This actually bar here, I will zoom in, this bar here, this massive selling, and then successful tests of that on the low volumes, you know, and there is no seller's power at this stage, and of course it's only way to go, it's upward, and the price went upward about 75 pips. Rent point and professionals who bought at this stage, probably they did very good, you know. I also saw this, but I didn't actually want to trigger this, but it was a good trading idea. Probably placing a buying order here with a stop loss of like 30 pips, you're already right now you should be about even 1 to 3 ratio. Not that we can see much higher price. If we speak technical aspect is, you know, I placed the Fibonacci expansion from this A, B, and C point, which is currently active, and look at the 61.8 at 1.1050 area, which is the strongest. And if the price breaks that, we may even go to the 100%, 1.1255, 1.1275, and the final expansion depend of market fluctuation. It can be even on 1.1590, almost 1.1600 area. But that's, of course, that must be with strong fundamentals covered. What's the problem? Why the euro cannot drop? It's not just because of that speech of the dragon. He said he's not concerned about exchange rate and monetary policy. Actually, it's not the main thing. It's not actually exchange rate at all. The next thing why the euro cannot drop and why it can go even higher, it's because the DAX is going lower and FTSE is going lower. There is no big recovery there on the stock market, which means the professionals will also hedge. They will buy the euro, combined with the selling climax we got on that ECB press conference here. And also, what is interesting thing here is to see that the buying climax on the futures market wasn't so ultra high volume at all. You know, so this is a very strong demand entered. Here on the tick volume, it was a buying climax, but actually in the futures market, it wasn't so strong volume at all. It was like above the average volume and massive widespread. Not just that, after this, price continued to go higher, and price respected here, and I bought here, and price went 250 pips above that climatic area, which means that actually this demand and this buying climax is actually a sign of the strength. And this is so clearly at this stage right now, but again, we cannot build right now positions because again, that federal funds rate tonight. After federal funds rate, we will see what we got in the market, and then depend on what decision will be and how we will react in the market, we can position ourselves. This can be this idea can still be a valid after federal funds rate. So again, technically, there is a lot of space for the upward. There is a first resistance like 200 pips away from current price, and then there is a 400 pips away the second major. This is, I call this major because if you go to the daily time frame and put the actually major one ABC from this A, B, and C, you can see 61.8 around 1.1280. So this is a major, and the price breaks that, we can really expect testing of 1.1585 and 1.1760. But this is again some short term, and if the fundamentals confirms that. Okay, so the point is, technically this is a very scary for sellers. We got a massive demand entered that December 2nd December, and then we saw the continuation of that strength. Then we went to correction to 61.8. We created a channel, price broke that. We traded here. Probably professionals are waiting. They waited ECB ECB press conference, TC reaction, and after they saw what the Draghi said, we got a massive selling climax from the crowd, and then professionals bought first time here, scaled out there, bought second time here. Right now probably they hold a position here, or they scale out before the news. Some of them will hold and put a stop loss and break even. Some of them will just exit before news and take the profit and wait the key news for this month, and in the next period, in the next few weeks, is actually the federal funds rate. So again, be careful when selling. Even we are in active QE program. That's the only thing which is actually in the favor of the sellers. It's active QE program, but everything else, it's not in favor of that. We have a massive strength in the background. We have the broken channel here. We have the massive selling climax on the futures and also on the tick volume, and we got a successful test of the selling climax. Also, we have a space for the corrective phase. We have a 200 pips, let's say 170 pips. We have the 400 pips and even higher. So the DAX is going lower. The DAX is not so good at all. The FTSE is going lower. So they hedged the euro. We got a negative coloration here. So a lot of things are in favor of the euro to do the extended corrective phase before potential selling, some larger selling, and just the QE active program is in favor of the sellers, but that's not enough. I guess it's not enough to move some larger supply, because this is the where the sellers got extended. This some kind of wedging here. This was a maximum for the sellers, so they're pretty much scared of any selling right now, and that's why the buyers took the place and professionals started buying USD. Again, if you like my analysis and if you want to learn my method to learn to understand the volume analysis and combine the interbank intermarket analysis and read the fundamentals, and which is very important. You can trade pretty much everything. You can trade the intraday. If there is opportunities, you can trade them, short-term, long-term, depend again what type of trader you are. I can teach you everything you need for professional trading, and if you're interested to start my mentorship program, feel free to contact me on the Skype. My Skype username is petar.jacimovic, and also you can visit my website bikeofanalysis.com. And that's it for this analysis. If you like my analysis, feel free to like and comment. Bye bye, and see you after the federal funds rate.